Hi, this is Jim Ave again, and in this presentation I'm going to cover the signature assignment for our class. As you'll see in your syllabus, I'm calling this the choice assignment. And as you can read in your your syllabus, that each class in our grad program has a signature assignment. They're not all choice assignments, but all of them have the signature assignment. And the purpose of them is to see if you are meeting our program student learning outcomes and our course student outcomes for our class and our program. So based on the self-determination theory, which teaches that students are more motivated if you give them the autonomy, I have decided to apply that by giving you the choice between completing two different assignments. So one assignment is called the athletic training lesson presentation, and the second assignment is the effective athletic training teaching and learning presentation. Again, you only have to choose one. You don't have to do both. You do one or the other. For both assignments, the similarities between both assignments is that you will be doing a audio or video presentation. Both are worth the same amount of points. So both assignments you'll do audio video presentation in the forum, and you facilitate a discussion. In both assignments you'll also create a lesson and teach us about your lesson. So those are some similarities between the two. Now let me talk about each one. And in the class, I'll ask you to make a decision on which one of these assignments that you'll complete. All right? So basically, our first assignment is you're going to select one of the athletic training education competency content areas. And we'll talk about that in our course. And then you're going to create a learning and athletic training learning experience that addresses at least one of the expected outcomes for knowledge and skills for the content area, or a clinical integration proficiency for that content area. Again, I'm going to be talking about what this educational competency stuff is in this week's class. Then you have to make a decision. Are you going to design this learning experience, a class experience, for a classroom setting, a regular old class? Is it going to be a laboratory setting, or will it be a clinical setting? Again, I'm going to discuss what all that terminology means when we talk about the athletic training education stuff. Okay, so then you'll create a 30 to 45 minute audio video presentation where you're going to teach the lesson by providing the lesson plan or an outline design, whatever term you want to use for that, then explain how the lesson is taught using a specific teaching methodology and strategy. So what I mean by that is there are different ways to teach. And one way I don't want you to do this is just through the old lecture, straight on lecture. So it's going to be something other than lecture. It can be discussion. And again, I'm going to provide, I've provided some information already in the class about all the different kinds of methods there are out there. So you're going to explain what that method is, then how you would go about teaching that lesson using that particular method in the class. Okay, so the student should, then you're going to analyze how effective that lesson is in meeting the athletic training educational competency content. How has it addressed those areas, the knowledge, skills, and our clinical proficiencies, and how the class, laboratory, and our clinical settings are addressed. So you're going to analyze how effective your own lesson is. So you're going to teach us about your lesson, then you're going to analyze how effective your lesson is. Then your lesson should include an introduction, student learning outcomes, and we're going to go over this in our course through our couple weeks together. What's the content of lesson? How will your lesson be taught? How are you going to wrap it up in your conclusion, and then how are you going to assess learning? And then You are expected to use the course assigned reading, so both the Bain and Winder book, the lecture material, and at least 10 other acceptable resources to support your presentation. So that's one. So the big point on this particular choice assignment is you're going to use a specific teaching method to teach an athletic training class, or lesson, I should say, not a class, just a lesson, just one lesson. Okay. So the second one, choice assignment, is a little bit different. In this one, you're going to pick one of these different topics and become an expert in this. So it's a little bit different. The other one is about a teaching method. This one's about a teaching topic. So learning styles, learning over time. Now you see I have asterisks here. The asterisks mean it's more common in athletic training education. Our textbook, the clinical education textbook, go over quite a few of these. And I also have provided you definitions for each one of these. What these mean here in the assignment for area for these classes. So in this assignment, kind of set it up where you are pretending that you've been invited to do a presentation at the NATA Athletic Trainers Educators Conference on one specific topic about athletic training, teaching, and learning. So you're going to do a presentation just like you would at an NATA conference. You'll select one of these topics to present on, become an expert on. Once somebody picks a topic, that topic is done. Except for learning styles. Since we have several different learning styles, there's two main ones. There's a third one that we can use. So we could have 3 different learning styles. I'd rather not have that many, but if you're interested in that, I'd rather you pick something that you're interested in. Again, that's the critical thing. I want you to be interested in either of these. You want to learn how to do a different way of teaching, this would be a good one. If you want to learn about a specific area in teaching and education and learning, you pick this one. Okay? So then you're going to also do a 30 to 45 minute video audio presentation and use the reading, the sources, and 10 other articles, references. And you're going to discuss the what. Pretend that most of us don't know a thing about this particular topic. Teach us about this particular topic. What is the literature review about this topic? Now, for both these assignments, you need to go beyond just athletic training education because nursing has done a lot of great research in education. Physical therapy has, physical education has, medical education has done a lot of good research on how to educate professional students like our athletic training students. Because this is who we're talking about. We're talking about athletic training students when we're doing our teaching. So teach us about this particular topic. What are the positive and negatives about this particular topics? The why. How has or has not this educational topic been used in athletic training education programs? Like I said, some of this has been used more frequently than others. How has it been used? What makes this topic difficult to use as a classroom teacher or easy to use as a clinical teacher, clinical instructor? Other term is preceptor in this particular area. Now the third part is the application. How would you use this as an athletic training instructor or as a clinical instructor in a grad program, in a athletic training education program? Very similar to the other one, I want you to make a lesson addressing one of the athletic training competencies. Like I said all above, that's the exact same wording as the other assignment. You're going to describe how you can use this topic to teach the lesson. And the lesson should include the same areas as the lesson above. So those are the same. The actual lesson plan will be the same. And you'll also, in addition to describing the what and why. I want you to describe the how. How would you use that particular area to teach a lesson? Then describe to us how you would teach a lesson. And again, this is one of these limitations of an online environment. I love to be able to do this class face to face where you would actually teach us this lesson. But we can't do that, so we just got to do what we can do. All right. Okay, for either signature assignment, whatever one you pick, you need to consider the following. Include an introduction and a conclusion. Tell them what you're going to tell them, and tell them what you just told them. That's just good presentations. Now, I also expect you to be engaging presenters. I don't want you just to read the material in a monotone, boring voice. Okay? Has some good voice inflections. When you're making if you're going to use PowerPoint or whatever you're going to use, make it, don't type every single word on a PowerPoint slide. That's the worst thing you can do. That's an automatic 0 for that section. If you don't know how to do a good oral presentation, search the internet. Tons of information out there. Now, you have the freedom to select any type of presentation program you want to use. Audio, PowerPoint, Keynote, screen capturing software, blah, blah, blah. And I'll even go so far to say that you can write a paper if that's your learning style, that you prefer to write a paper. But I also still expect you to present it some way to us, so we don't have to read the 10, 12 page paper, whatever it would be in a written format. Okay? This is an assignment that I will allow students to join together. I don't want more than 2 students working together on this. Please contact me if that's something that you would want to do. I'm trying to give you as much flexibility and freedom with this. The only requirement is that you need to be able to attach your presentation to the forum. That's the main requirement. There is a 2 gigabyte file size limitation in Moodle. It shouldn't be a problem, but I do think the best thing to do is be hardwired to the internet. Don't use Wi-Fi when you're uploading your presentation, because it will just time out. It just takes too long for it to upload on Wi-Fi. Now, acceptable resources. Those who've been in this program, this should not be a shock to you at all. You should know this by now. You should use your number one type of resource you should be using are journal articles, and I've listed different journal articles. Textbook, use the most current version. We're probably you may be using quite a bit of stuff from the NETA and their resources that they have there. This is a no-duh. You should never use Wikipedia or blogs. Okay, that's not surprising. Okay, so first thing you got to make a decision on is which one of these 2 you're going to do. Next decision after that is you got to decide if you're going to do number 1, what teaching method you'll use, and the second one is what topic you'll pick. And I'm going to have a form for this where you have to pick these things, and once it's picked, nobody else can take it. The other thing you'll do is this is going to be the same regardless of the assignment that you choose to do. You're going to facilitate your presentation, which means you'll upload your presentation. You'll attach your presentation to the forum. You'll post 2 to 4 open-ended questions. Open-ended questions are questions that do not have a yes-no answer. So open-ended question means that students need to be able to say more than yes and no. Okay? So you'll post 2 or 4 questions that you want the students to answer and to respond to. And then what's your responsibility is to read the other students' responses and keep that thread going by asking more probing questions. And then each student, well, not all students must listen to the other students' presentations before they respond to the questions in the presentation. And then you need to have a significant response, which means to me at least 3 pages, which means 3 fully developed paragraphs to 3 of the other students' presentations. That's going to be for the signature assignment as a whole. So you have to respond to 3 total students. This is going to happen in 1 week. It's the last week of the class. So you in addition to facilitating your discussion, you're listening to and reading and responding to the 3 other students' presentations. Since we're going to have 2 different threads going, or 2 different types of assignments going, I prefer that you do one of your own type, one of the other type, and then you have the choice of what you want to do for the last one. I'll assess your threaded discussion by this rubric. You can read that on your own. And so this is your signature assignment. I'll have a rubric for this. I haven't fully created the rubric, but once I finish it, I'll upload it, and you can see what you're going to be assessed on. You also have to turn in your final assignment to task stream, so I can assess it in task stream. As always, for every assignment, if you have questions about the assignment, please post them in the Q&A forum so I can help you answer those questions. I hope that you enjoyed this particular assignment. I think it'll be a good assignment for you. I think it'll be fun when we do all the presentations.